If you saw my video on clearing land and where I discussed collecting the rocks instead of burying them, this is why. Because we're going to move on to retaining walls and the like. Erosion control is more appropriate in my jurisdiction. A retaining wall without a building permit can't be more than 4 feet. Well, that first 4 feet is about 80 degrees, which classifies as a retaining wall, and it's solid concrete. Well, it's all concreted in, mortared in, and sitting on bedrock. Above that, it kicks back over to 45 degrees, which is erosion control, no longer a retaining wall. And the 45 degrees is important to remember. Forces, downward forces on rock, soil, anything, are distributed at 45 degrees. If you put a rock in compression, you test it, it will break at approximately 45 degrees. And witnessed that myself. So this is why we save the rock. I'm going to go over here where there's a as I'm learning here and what to say and what not. This is my low speed. Well, a berm takes up a lot of space. I was trying to maximize the width of my crossing here, my earthen bridge. That's why the steepness, the steeper you make it, the wider your bridge, or your, as we're going to move on over there where I'm building what would be a patio one day. I'll make that wider. So we're saving larger rocks for this curb. Okay. Over here, these are large and nice. Over here we use slightly smaller ones. And then if we save our smallest rock for this style of erosion control, which could be riprap, it's called 6" minus. I've got some bigger stuff in there. It's because I'm learning along the way that I could have wasted. I didn't know I was going to be doing more. So let's move on to how to do this and how I've done it. So here at the back of towards the back of the lot, at the back of the pad anyway, we have nice views of the city lights at night. So to take advantage of that, I want this to be as wide as possible. We got this cactus and all kinds of things that we can show off in this area. But instead of doing just a low angle with the riprap, if we make something a little steeper, we can maximize our floor space. So here we're up around 70 degrees. And all it takes is dirt, rock, time. So you just preferably set the rocks contacting one another and literally cram it in. I'm using local soil here. Over there by the bridge I had brought in 3/8 minus, which was pretty effective. It's just a matter of packing the material behind the rock. It's a little tedious. Of note also, over there we were sitting on bedrock. This area we've got a mix of bedrock, and this area wasn't quite down to bedrock anyway. So start with some larger rocks that it would have been nice to save for other places. But at least that distributes over a larger area any downward forces. And if I get over 4 feet to this, I will kick it back, and which I probably will. I will kick it back to about 45 degrees going back to that point. If you were to divide the weight, we go into the engineering of it, but you divide your weight by the total area at 45 degrees, there's a reason that retaining walls aren't allowed more than that, is because if you were to drive a car right next to this, you would be pushing outward on this. We're using gravity to our advantage. Periodically, not every rock is positioned the deeper direction in, which does make it stronger. But gravity's helping us here. And periodically, I'll make sure that a portion of them are run depth-wise, and that allows the dirt to sit on top and help support the rest of it. I think that's about it. This one's going to go somewhere else. We're going to wrap around over there. I think it's going to be a nice place to hang out one day.